Same place?
Yeah, that's what they did differently.
Oh, down on the front. Yeah.
Good evening. I'm calling the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of November 2nd, 2023 to order at 6:01. Can we begin with roll call?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Hector Garcia,
Present.
Rolando Cáceres. Present. Mike Barro. Present. Manuel Rangel. Johnny Narvaez.
Present.
Yushin Wang.
Here.
Regina Portillo.
Present.
Daniela Salapaz.
Here.
Adolfo Martinez. Present. Mr. Chairman, for the record, you do have four.
Thank you.
Motion to excuse Ms. Rangel.
We
Second.
have a motion and a second by Commissioner Wang. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to the consider approval of minutes for the regular meeting of October 19th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes of October 19, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Salapaz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Do we have any citizen comments?
At this time, no.
Okay. Moving on now to review and consideration of the following master plan. Item 6A, review and consideration of the revision of Santa Elena subdivision master plan. The intent is residential, commercial, and multifamily. The purpose of this revision is to combine phases.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is HAPO Holdings. Engineer is Porras Nance Engineering. Proposed use is residential, commercial, and multifamily. The zoning for this 968 lot development is B1, R1A, and AG. Location view. Aerial view. The proposed master plan or the revision of the master plan. Comments from planning. Traffic safely. And the proposed motion.
Thank you. This is the engineer record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Wayne Ansel, Porras Engineering. We're fine with all the comments, except we have reached out to the planning department about item number 2. They're asking us to extend alma mater towards 83, but currently there's a well site right there. And we're working with the owner of the well to have that removed, but it's not going to be ready right now. But we've agreed that by the next phase that we'll have them out of the way and we'll extend alma mater as part of the next phase. If that's all right.
As long as they attach it to the next phase, we're fine with that. We saw the aerial and we saw the well.
Okay. Is there any changes that needs to be made to the wording of comment number 2, or this is only you want to put on
I would
record?
request that it be stricken. If that's
To-
fine with
to-
the record.
Strike this, and I guess we would call it phase 3 or what would be the next phase?
It just depends on where we go next. Just the next phase to be presented to.
Well, we'll do that.
I think it would be better to add the next phase that we develop that comes in.
Yeah, because you know how we are. Sometimes phase 6 is
Yeah.
numbering.
Okay.
All right, but we're fine with that. All the other comments.
We can make that.
Are there any other questions for the engineer or staff?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Sure.
Chairman. So this question is more for staff and again around utilities and when we sprawl our city. Is there a way or a policy change that we can do to request more detailed comments from the utilities department with these types of projects?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Typically, they usually do come forward at the one-stop shop. They'll get into detail with them, but I do understand your question, and absolutely, we could ask utilities to be here so they can talk a little bit more about the developments. I'll ask them. I'll
Yeah,
make that
because
request.
I think by the time we get to the one-stop shop, we're already developing this land. But my question for utilities would be more in this phase, this initial phase where, like, is this something that aligns with our comprehensive plan that we have capacity for? Sort of those like initial phase questions.
So, and I think the engineer can speak more to this, but typically before they start the project, they look at volumes. They talk to the utilities department to find out everything from water, wastewater, the capacity of the line, where is the line, whether they need a lift station, they don't need a lift station. So they pretty much do that in advance before they start their project. But I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, if I can speak for all developments, if the first thing you do is you make sure, first of all, you have sewer and water available. Otherwise, you're wasting your client's time and money, and your time and money, and we just wouldn't do that. So preliminary, we're aware of all the city's water and sewer master plans. We know the areas where you can't develop and the areas that you can. And this is one that clearly we can. And the fact that we have a master plan that already exists out there, if this was the first time that a master plan is being presented, that's a big thing. But now that we're coming on with a phase 2, this is actually like the third phase of this. Just so you know, I mean, they've embraced the entire master plan already. We've come to terms with the utilities department and what they're expecting as soon as we presented the master plan several years ago. And I think that would be true for most other developments as well.
During the annexation process, we asked for their master plan so that we can get calculations. So utilities gets those calculations, and in the annexation agreement, they put in there their volumes and what they're going to be paying for future development. So they're securing that. On the backside, when it comes to residential and they're finished, we do what's called model rules, and we have some today on this agenda. That's the commitment that we're making, that we're able to supply water to the area for 30 years. And that's more of a Bologna law, federal law, that we have to guarantee that we can take care of it. If we couldn't, they couldn't do their developments.
Okay,
So
and that's in the annexation.
Yes, we do that in the annexation.
Okay,
Real quick on the same question, is we've had that for that information before. I understand where you're coming from, it's already been done, but if they can make notations on it, you know what, this has already been done, this is the capacity.
That's why I agreed with her, because
Yeah,
I agree
because
with you on
we
that.
said about fire, we said about the same thing. And just for us to know that, okay, yes, this project has it, but what's the capacity for anything else in that area? And we have 50%, 75%. So if this project's already done, and we know, or we have an idea, we only have 50% capacity of the next project coming into that area. So we have more numbers. So that's the only thing, and the same thing that I worry about.
I will tell you that the southeast part of our city, we have a hard time getting utilities out there. So you won't see anything coming in soon because we just can't do it. So we do have areas where, unless the developer was willing to pay big money to run the lines all the way to their property, but at the moment it's a little bit too far. So we also have that issue with some land south of LBJ. That area needs utilities, and so they're having a hard time getting it there too because it's very expensive to do it. But I know what you're saying, and I'll definitely talk to Arturo Garcia, the utilities director, so he could maybe come and talk a little bit about the utilities in the area, so that you're aware of how the process goes.
thank you. And just as an example, the Parks Department, they provide sort of standard comments every time. And maybe that's something for utilities so that, as Commissioner Garcia is saying, we can at least be aware of, like, you know, this developer will be required to do looped lines or what their requirements are, because we're not getting any information right now.
Absolutely. And our parks planner is sitting right over there. She's the one that does the comments. So
I know. I know it's her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, what sort of action would the commission like to take?
Motion to approve the item, subject to comments, amending comment number 2. This will include the connection of Alma Mater Boulevard to US 83 South as part of the next phase of this development. Because of the reconfiguration of phase 2, we can take 248 residential lots.
Okay, so we have a motion with an amendment,
Second.
and we have a second by Commissioner Salinas. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 6B, review and consideration of the revision to the Embarcadero Southeast Quadrant Master Plan. The intent is industrial and commercial The purpose of this revision is to combine and renumber phases.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is Bias Development, Kara Then Quig, engineer is Camacho Hernandez and Associates. Proposed use is industrial and commercial. The zoning for this development is M1, R1A, and B4. Location view. Aerial view. The proposed master plan. Comments from planning. Parks and Leisure. Traffic safety. And the proposed motion.
Thank you. Is engineer record here?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commission members. My name is Arturo Camacho with Camacho Hernandez. I'm here to answer any questions. We don't have any issues with the comments. There was a comment regarding the confusion or a plat name change request. The master plan is called the Embarcadero Southeast Quadrant, and we were proposing to submit plats with a different name, but we've decided to just leave everything Embarcadero Southwest Quadrant, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So that's what we're doing, and we've already talked to planning, and we all concur.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where you're set, can you,
Oh, sure. Area view.
where is it exactly? Is it like the
Yes,
phase,
the
where it
master.
says phase 2?
What can I?
You can move the
The master.
You can-
The master.
I don't want to come to the-
It's a touch screen, so I think.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Well,
No, but you're gonna have to.
Okay.
go
on the area. Yes, ma'am.
It's the second
Yeah,
one?
this master plan is this roadway right here, everything to the north,
Okay,
and then this is some drainage work that's we're doing,
okay,
and the master plan also includes this portion along Mines Road, fronting Mines Road.
That-
This is part of another development.
okay.
Yes,
The only part that we're talking about is the yellow one, right?
that's correct.
Okay, and we have 2 exits or 3 exits. One through Faston Boulevard,
Yes.
right? And then the other one, Bob Bullock, or no? And the other one is mine, like, you're going to come out through Mines Road.
That's correct.
That was my question.
Do you know what the,
And 35 through the other side, like,
That is correct.
on the other
Just
side.
the frontage road.
Okay,
do you know what the right of way on Faskin Boulevard is?
yeah.
On the other side?
It's 100 foot.
So just continuing on,
That's
patching it up. Okay, that's good.
That's good. That was my question. Thank you.
If there's no other questions or comments, what sort of action would the commission like to take?
Motion to approve, subject to comments?
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Abstain.
We have 1 abstention. Now moving on to consideration of following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. Item 7A, preliminary consideration of the plat of Santa Elena subdivision phase 2. The intent is residential.
Applicant is HAPO Holdings, engineer is Porras Lands Engineering. The proposed use is residential, and the zoning for this 248 lot development is AG. Location view, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat. Comments from planning, traffic safety, and the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Wayne Nance with Porras Engineering again. Once again, we agree with all the comments except for item number 1 now. We would just request that be postponed to the next phase.
It's the same.
The same general
Same
comment to
general
extend Alma Mater Boulevard.
Thank you.
We can adjust it to the same way.
Okay. Motion to approve the item subject to comments, amending comment number one to, require this in the next development.
We have a motion with amendment, by Commissioner Barron.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7B, preliminary consideration of the plat of Embarcadero Gateway, Phase 2. The intent is industrial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is Farias Development, care of Mr. Ben Puig, engineers Camacho Hernandez and Associates, Arturo Camacho. Proposed use is industrial. The zoning for this one lot development is M1. Location view, area, street view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning. Traffic safety. And the proposed motion. Back to the area view.
Thank you. The engineer record can come forward.
Yes, and again, this, it's stated on the agenda as Embarcadero Gateway, Phase 2, but it's been changed to Embarcadero Southeast Quadrant, Phase 2. And we've already made the change and submitted to planning.
Okay,
So we're consistent with the master plan.
perfect. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
If not, what sort of action would the commission like to take on this?
Motion to approve subject to comments.
We have a motion to approve, so the comments by Commissioner Salapaz.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Portillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
I abstain.
One abstention. I do, on item 7C, I do have a copy of an email requesting for this item to be,
Motion to table.
table. Is it time certain or is it just table? Indefinite, I'm sorry, okay. So I can I have a motion to table indefinite.
Second.
So Commissioner, Garcia, right? Motion and then second by Commissioner Wang. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Now moving on to consideration of the following final plats and final replats. If there's no objection by the commission or staff, may I have a motion to hear items 8A through items 8E altogether?
Motion to hear items 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 8E together.
Have a motion, Commissioner Wang. Second, Commissioner Portillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Now may I have a motion of action on items 8B, 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, and 8E?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Garcia,
Second.
second by Commissioner Salazar. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Can we now read those into record?
Yes, sir. For the record, final consideration of plat of Embarcadero Gateway Phase 1, which has now been backed to known as Embarcadero Southwest Quadrant Phase 1, approved. Final consideration of the replat of Lot 1, Block 2, Pinnacle Industry Center, FM 1472, Unit 11, into Lot 1A and Lot 1B, Block 2, Pinnacle Industry Center, FM 1472, Unit 11, approved. Final consideration of the plat of Verde Creek subdivision, approved. Final consideration of the plat of High Line at Springfield, approved. Final consideration of the replat of a portion, 2,269 square feet out of Lot 1, Block 233, Western Division, into Lot 1A, Block 233, Western Division, approved. Those are the final plats.
Okay. Now moving on to consideration of the model.
Real quick for the record,
Yes.
on this one, I voted 8A. I voted with the rest of them, but I'm abstaining on 8A.
Now moving on to consideration of model subdivision compliance. If there's no objection from staff or from the commission, may I also have a motion here, items 9A, 9B, 9C, 9D, 9E, 9F, and 9G together.
So moved.
We have a so moved by Commissioner Portillo,
Second.
second Commissioner Wang. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Now may I have a motion of actions for items 9A, 9B, 9C, 9D, 9E, 9F, and 9G?
So
We have a motion by Commissioner Salapaz. I'm sorry, action.
moved.
Approval?
Approval.
So motion approved by Commissioner Salazar.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Now can we read those into record?
Yes. Consideration of the model subdivision rule compliance of the plat of Santa Elena subdivision phase 3. Consideration of model subdivision rule compliance of the codes at Winfield phase 4A, phase 5A, phase 6A, phase 6B, phase 7A, and phase 7B approved.
Are we okay with it? Okay. Are there any director's comments before we?
No,
adjourn?
sir.
No? Then, I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We adjourn.
And next time, if so